But you advocated for his
but
removal.
when I love you, it doesn't mean I can't criticize you. My wife is my biggest critic person. All the time, and when I finish to speak, she comes on top of me. I'm like, are you sent by Zoom or something?
We share that experience.
She does that because she wants good out of me. So our love for Uncle Bob didn't diminish. We love him. And that's why we said, don't return Munangangwa, don't return back the land to the settlers. All we said to Uncle Bob was, a good dancer knows when to leave a dance floor. It doesn't mean you don't know how to dance. So you must ask these black people who are sitting next to you. In the weddings there, in the townships and parties, we open something called a circle. And then a good dancer gets into the circle and he dances. It doesn't matter how good that person is. If he takes long, we drag him. But he remains a good dancer.
Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King's So. I'm your host, Kagiso Hlongwane, host in Chiva Sono, and we're back at it again with another one. And this time around, we're going back to the Adhoc committee where little jabs were thrown between Julius Malema, the leader of the Economic Freedom Fighters, and Sauls from the Patriotic Alliance. And I want to talk about that, ladies and gentlemen. Before I do, let's just admire people who have got 3 Lamborghinis. You guys know 3 Lamborghinis. I'm always thinking, one thing I've said in my life is that I'll never buy a 2-seater. I said, I don't know what can make a person be rich enough to say, I'm buying a 2-seater. I think some of us, the problem that the reason why we don't get rich is because we think that we can help all our family members and all of our friends. And I'm thinking, if a 2-seater costs 2 million, 4 million, 20-something million, or even more, 36 million, whatever, why would I buy that if I can help Impinches, those who I grown up with, those who, my family members, ask for business plans and just fund them by 1 million or whatever. I don't know. That is how I think. I'm like, hey, a 2 million, 2-seater is a wastage of money. But other people have it because they can rob the Tembisa hospital and they can get all that money. And then when you don't know what to do with your money, you just buy blue Lamborghinis, buy a family car, a supercar. You just buy blue. Anything must just be blue. And also the house. If they want that 900 million that they are looking for, they must start with the house. And this is, by the way, a family member of Cyril Ramaphosa, of which he claims that he does not know. But we all know what is going on. Cyril Ramaphosa never knows anything. It's always surprising to him. Look at that house. Oh my goodness. The only thing that I know in South Africa that is more beautiful than that house in terms of design is the Pan-African School of Economics, Technology and Agriculture. And let me tell you something. Yesterday, we got some few donations. I think about 5 donations. People sending 100 rand, 50 rands and everything. So we are getting so forever close to the target that we want to reach for the labor cost. So thank you so much, Bantu Benkosi. We thank you for believing in Paseta and making it easy for us. We are now just a few thousand rand close, and I'm sure before the end of the month, we will get there. Thank you so much for committing to donating 50 rand. If you haven't donated 50 rand, what is the issue? Just send the 50 rand so that we can build this school. So how many distractions did we have as African people from January until now? How many distractions have we had from January until now? From podcasts to politicians to celebrities to marriages, divorces, deaths, all of those things that have happened in our lives as African people in 2025. When we look back and we ask the question, what have we built? What is the answer for 2025? What have we built as African people? Instead, we are breaking each other apart because of political differences, religious differences, tribal differences, and classism and all of those things. We break each other apart. So Paseta is one of those things when you feel guilty to say, let me contribute to the black community. 50 rand. 50 rand in Japela. And for those who are working, of course, you can just send the 50 rand and it will go a long way. We are pushing and pushing and pushing. I think later today, if not tomorrow, I'll be at the school grounds and I will be shooting from there. It will be a very exciting thing for me because I was away the whole week. So I need to go and see the progress there. But the people who are working, they are doing a fantastic job. Thank you so much, guys, for donating to the Pan-African School of Economics, Technology and Agriculture. Okay, if you can give me a moment. I started the video with Julius Malema saying that just because you love someone does not mean that you cannot criticize them. And I think many politicians and political supporters get it wrong. I always tell people that I love the EFF, I vote EFF. And if now you had to ask me who must be the president of South Africa, it will be Julius Malema, for me. For many people, we will argue and argue, but when I look at who we bring to compare with Julius Malema, Fikile Mbalula, no. Gayton, no. I love Dr. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, but against Julius Malema, I would choose Julius. I love Uvuyo Zungula. Against Julius Malema, I choose Julius. Floyd, I choose Julius. Whoever it is, I choose Julius. But I think sometimes Julius is his own enemy in terms of how he addresses things. And I feel like in this instance, the attack to Sauls was uncalled for, unnecessary. He was not wrong in saying, telling the chairperson, say, reprimand this person. But for him to go and say things about sales and barging in, for me, he went the extra mile just to offend one of his fellow members. And that is why some of us don't take the Adhoc committee completely serious, because politicians, like we've all said, will always take jabs at each other. And criticizing what the CIC has said does not mean that we don't love the CIC. In fact, he says we criticize those who we expect, who we love most, because we expect better from them. And he says even my wife criticizes me. So I wanted to start at that note, because I know the fighters will be back on the comment section and saying things. But before, if you don't know what we're talking about, I'm sure you do. You have seen it all over social media. But maybe if you haven't seen it, I just want to play this clip of the Adhoc committee. Listen to this.
Thank you, Chair. I agree with the assertion that everything is cruising, but perhaps just to put Honourable Sauls at comfort. The SGC, firstly, in the morning did indicate that he would do exactly what he was doing. And he explained to us that the General is not going to be able to come back again, and therefore he will put some of these assertions. But on the issue of Mary de Haas, it does feature in the annexures that the General had submitted, even though he doesn't go into the letter. So it's not like it's issues that arise out of nowhere. So I support the notion that we should proceed. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah.
Can I get an answer to my question, Chair? Is the letter part of the statement? Is it here? That's the question.
Okay. Honorable Malema.
No, you need to reprimand the behavior of that honorable member. You just called him to order and he's repeating that. He just barges like we're in a cell. Prison cell. Please, man. They must speak through you. You call them to show the best of them. The honorable member, the other one is showing the best of it. He's repeating that other ugly part we don't want to see, of just barging. They must speak through you, Chair. Please. There are generals, they will arrest people.
Honorable Ngola.
No, Chair, I think also in this submission we must pay attention.
Who is
the
this,
submission by Honorable Sangun? It does suggest that what does this, which the SC is saying, is part of the attachments in the volumes of evidence that have been submitted to us. So I don't know Honorable Sauls' question that he wants to be answered. Because this matter has been resolved. Can we proceed, Chair, please?
Yeah. Honorable Sauls.
Chair, firstly, you must confirm to Honorable Malema that before I came and spoke, you looked at me when I raised my hand. So I wasn't out of order, that's number one. Number two, I'm not the one who's convicted for a criminal offense. So if someone needs to be arrested, it should be Honorable Malema.
Yeah.
However, Chairperson, I am merely asking, if the House says, or if you say, Chair, that the letter that is evidence in the minister's statement, is that letter also part of the commissioner's statement? Then let the commissioner say the letter that senior counsel is referring to is what he gave us. Why was the commissioner not able to answer? He had to come back and ask, are you insinuating? And the reason why he did that is because it's not him that submitted that. But if I am wrong, I am willing to step back, Chair. But I have the right to ask for clarity. Thank you.
Yeah, you know what? It's so difficult when you are politically loyal and blind to the extent where you cannot call a spade a spade, and you can't say, okay, I love my leader, but I think also this was unnecessary. We are dealing with very serious issues with this Mkhwanazi issue. And Lieutenant General Fani Masimula was there. Fani, for me also, is a little bit funny. Excuse the pun. He's a little bit funny because he tries to avoid taking any responsibility as to what happened during the process of Mkhwanazi reporting things to him and everything, him speaking to the president, him speaking to the minister. I don't like this thing that Fani is saying, or General Fani is saying, that when he spoke to the president and when he engaged the minister about dissolving the political killing task team, he says, no, I said, we cannot just close it in Japela. Let's phase it out. Let's close it in phases and phase it out slowly. Why do you want to phase it out slowly if, number one, it's working correctly and you agree that it was effective? If, number two, you don't want politicians to interject on work, operational matters of which you are in control of. So that's where Ufani is a little bit funny to me when it comes to that. It's like, take responsibility that you also did not act in time. That is the point here. Yeah, Mkhwanazi had to talk to you, talk to the president, talk to parliament, talk to everyone. At the end, he had to speak to the media and speak to the country because no one was listening to what he was saying. So Ufani also, this issue of him saying he suggested that it must be phased out slowly. I don't agree with that. Why are you taking instructions from politicians who want to close a task team that is working? Why? So that's something else. But I was not here to talk about that. But that's something that just crossed my mind now as I was listening to some of his testimonies. I'm very busy. This whole week I was busy. I could not watch any proceedings of the Adhoc committee in its entirety. So I'm just getting clips here and there from social media. Okay, so I agree with Julius Malema when he says, listen, he says, reprimand this member, because if you will watch the whole clip, the chairperson Olkhanyane started seeing that there's becoming a back and forth here on the seats, and he says, listen guys, please display your best behavior. says, display your best behavior because the country is watching. I think you guys would want to display your best behavior. That is what the chairperson said, and rightfully so. But after saying it, Honorable Ashley Sauls felt like, I'm not answered. Is this letter part of the statement or what is going on? He might have missed whatever point that they were making as the ANC tried to tell him, listen, well, they didn't say it in words, but they said what is happening now procedurally was given to us in confidence that you guys will be doing this, the evidence holder or the what is it, the lawyer that was speaking. So they did discuss it before time, but now he's asking, is this letter part of the statement? That's all he was asking. If someone said yes or no, I don't think there was going to be any need for any back and forth that would have happened. But as usual, politicians, when they are right and you are wrong, they want to show it to the public that, no, you are wrong, you are slow, we talked about this and all of that. So in this case and point, I am on Saul's point. But now the CIC says, he advises the chair, you call the members order. He says he's barging in like we are in a cell. That statement was not necessary. That statement was not necessary. Before the Adhoc committee started, I said, these politicians, they will start attacking Julius Malema and say, you are found guilty, you are going to be sentenced, you are going to go to jail. In fact, you must not cross-examine the general and the police because you yourself will be in a cell. I said they will start taking out those points, political points, and jabbing each other like that. I did not expect that the CIC would be the first one to throw the jab. He was totally unprovoked by the member of the PA. He was just frustrated because if you go on social media, you look at what Gayton is saying, laughing at the issue of Malema. You look at what Kenny Kunene is saying and everything. You look at what the PA members are saying. Julius Malema is also human. They watch King Said So. They watch everything that you guys are saying on social media. Politicians are always on their phone and watching what the ground is saying because they have to get a feel of what the people are saying in public so that they can direct. So I think somehow it did affect him, and now he's taking it out on Saul. Saul did not go to prison according to my knowledge, and that's what he's saying. So. You know, he says there are generals here, we will arrest people. It's that statement of there are generals here, we will arrest people will not age well. You still have to go and appeal your sentencing in January. Who knows when they will, how long they will drag this thing. They might drag it and sentence him in 2028. You know, it might go to this court and go to that court and go up and down, and they sentence him in 2028 just to make sure that on the elections, when the elections come in May or June, he's not around. He's behind bars. You know, things like that. You don't know what the future holds. So you don't want to be that one that laughs at other people, but you don't know what the future holds. Especially for Julius Malema, he knows what the future holds for him. Is caught and fighting the system. He knows the system is totally against him. So this type of statement for me, if maybe there was Gayton across him and they were having this back and forth about barging in a cell or whatever, it would have made a little bit of sense. But Usahulu menzen Gayton, and that's the problem with political parties and political followers. You inherit beefs that are not yours. So Usahulu is inheriting beefs that is Gayton, no Julius Malema. He's in the middle because his PA is going to be caught in the crossfire. And you guys have to be honest about that. Some of you hate other politicians just because your political leader does not like them. And you hate other personalities in public because your political party does not love them. But you deep down in your heart, you know you don't have a problem with King Said So. But because your party is against King Said So, for example, you also have to then join the beef. And some people can't call a spade a spade. There is some political members who can say, okay, here I agree with what Jacob Zuma is saying, but when he said this, I disagree. And those people are MK people. You can get it. Also in the ANC, ANC is very open. You can hear members disagreeing with each other, saying no, Fikile was excited when he saw cameras, he was excited when he said that, and that for me is a healthy space where politics can take criticism and not be offended as if we are attacking them. So for me, it was really unnecessary. And yes, he did. Before he spoke, he did raise his hand. I think I played it here. He did raise his hand and say, and the speaker did acknowledge him, and that's why he spoke. He didn't budge in. So for me, the comment of the CIC was totally unnecessary, and it diminished the quality inputs that he always has. It was so unnecessary, that statement, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, Saul obviously had to defend himself, but you can even hear with his tone and the way he's speaking, he's saying, I'm not the one who was found guilty, and if there's anyone who must be arrested, it's him. He could have said that same statement in a higher pitch, a higher tone, and that would have sounded very disrespectful. But Saul, I think he carried himself well, and he says, listen, if you listen to the entire clip, he says, I'm prepared to step down if the room is saying I am wrong, but I'm just asking, is this letter part of the statement? That's all he was asking. And maybe he was slow, yes, maybe he was, but the guy he was asking, actually the chairperson said, okay, answer that guy, and the guy answered and said, no, it is not part of the statement. That's all. And it took them about 12-13 minutes just to answer that one question, and they could have answered, and we could have moved on. But now, General Van Masimula is sitting there. These members are going back and forth with each other. No. I don't agree with that. But you guys will obviously tell me your thoughts on the comment section. But for me, I just feel like let's leave these personal attacks. They've got nothing to do with the weakness we are cross-examining in front of us. Let's continue with the work that is in hand. That is my view. You're going to share your view on the comment section. And for those who haven't subscribed to King Said So, you can click the subscribe button. It's free. It's free. And it makes me look a little bit more cooler than I am. And I appreciate the support that you guys are giving us on King Said So and on Paseta. And really, we try to give you content each and every day. So let's hear what you got to say on the comment section. And I'm very interested. I'll be replying. I'll be driving, but I will. Well, every time I stop, I'll go on YouTube and reply to the comments. Until we meet again, don't forget to pray. But after you pray, stand up, African child. Do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace in Pan Africanism. I salute you.